Have you any podcasts on fixing your adrenal glands? This is JJ Virgin, 4-time New York Times bestselling author, celebrity nutrition expert, and fitness Hall of Famer. I've been on a lifelong quest for answers to the toughest health questions. And now I'm sharing what I found with you. Welcome to Ask the Health Expert. Jilly's Life Diary from Instagram asks, "Morning, just a wee question." That's so cute. "I do value your knowledge and love your podcast, which are so motivating and inspiring, but I wonder if you have time to answer this question. I would be grateful if you could reply. Do you think drinking 250 milliliters of beetroot juice and a balanced diet is enough to help adrenal glands to recover from emotional stress? My anxiety is awful and I'm desperate to calm it down. Exercise is killing me as my stress levels go up rather than down. Doctor thinks I'm nuts. Told me I was perimenopausal and did no tests. I'm at the stage of giving up on exercise because it even interferes with my sleep. Have you any podcasts on fixing your adrenal glands? Thank you, and thanks for your wisdom." Oh my gosh. So yes, I do. And what's great about our podcast is they actually opened the whole catalog. So there's hundreds of episodes in there. However, I'm going to take this one and unpack it. So stay with me. I'll be right back with the answer. All right, welcome back. So we are talking about adrenals, and there's a couple things that came into play here that I want to address, because first you said your doctor thought you were perimenopausal, and if you're 41, 42, and that could definitely be the case. So one of the things that can happen during perimenopause is that cortisol can go up. You can get more anxious, more irritable, more stressed. And so we want to look at that, because if that's starting to happen, then we've got to look at some of the things that we can do to offset that. Having said that, the most important thing that you can do as you're heading into that is to make sure that you are taking care of your adrenal glands. So let's just talk about some of the things that you can do to do that. Because no, drinking a load of beetroot juice, first of all, I am not a fan of juice. If you want to do some greens once a day, then do them, but add some fiber into them so you don't have a big blood sugar hit, and make sure that they are clean, organic, etc. But that is not how we're going to heal your adrenals. And you got to be careful, because one of the things that happens when you get under stress is that your blood sugar gets more unstable. So you don't need things that are going to make that worse. That's where you want to make sure you're really eating from what I call the virgin diet and sugar impact diet plate: protein, fat, and fiber. Protein and fiber work to slow down stomach emptying. Fiber, of course, super important for blood sugar regulation, for keeping your blood sugar more stable. And fat it triggers some chemicals in the small intestine to tell your brain you've eaten. So super important for satiety and blood sugar balance. And one of the things that happens when you're under stress is you get poor blood sugar balance. So that's step one, is make sure you're eating by the plate. Super important. How do you assess to really know what's going on with your adrenal glands? Well, there's a couple different things that you can do. You could look at heart rate variability, and you can look at an adrenal salivary index that looks at your cortisol throughout the day. It's a saliva test, and then compares it to a couple measurements of your DHA as well, to make sure that you've got a normal cortisol pattern. Comes up early in the morning. That's going to be its height, and then drops the most in the afternoon, then drops down at night so you can go back to sleep. Some people will have reverse patterns. All of a sudden they're like, can't get up in the morning, and then they're too wired at night. Sometimes as your adrenals start to go down because you've just exhausted them, they can only do so much. Your catecholamines, like adrenaline, pop up and try to take over. And that's that tired and wired feeling. So if any of this is sounding familiar, especially after the last year that we've had, what the heck can you do about all this? I'm going to give you some diet, some lifestyle, and some supplement stuff to do. Number one, sugar is your enemy, is the enemy of adrenals. And high food intolerance foods aren't so great either. For this one, I would start with the sugar impact diet. That helps you uncover the sugar sneaking into places you'd never expect in your diet and lower that sugar impact. And even if you're the biggest sugar craver there is, this helps you get through it, because we don't go cold turkey, we taper and then transition. So that's the first thing to look at. The second thing, of course, is making sure you're eating by that plate. Also dietarily, vitamin C is such a key important nutrient for the adrenal glands. So vitamin C is my key, most important of all here. And I think we overlook it, and it's water soluble and we'll blast it out under a lot of stress. So I use my sparkling C powder. And if I'm under stress, I kick it up. I take a couple doses a day. And you do want to do these in divided doses. Again, it's water soluble. So think vitamin C, and then think of some of the things that can help with balancing your adrenals. Again, some people, if you've gone at this for a while, you could have overall low all throughout the day and night. Some people have, too high at some points during the day, then too low. Things that can help here. Licorice can help keep cortisol around longer. So if you've got more exhausted adrenal glands, that can help take the pressure off. Glandulars can help rebuild the adrenals. And then there's different things like ashwagandha, rhodiola, American ginseng. So a lot of the different herbal formulas that are tonifying that will help balance the adrenals. So look for a good adrenal formula. I like Designs for Health. Adrenatone is the one that I use when I'm just helping someone with balancing. And again, vitamin C, remember, don't forget vitamin C, all right? So diet, supplements, and then the other thing to think about is what's going on lifestyle-wise. One of the big challenges here, like if you're feeling anxiety, I really love a couple things. I love chewable pharmagaba. That's another Designs for Health product. And also tapping. And shout out to my buddy Nick Ortner of the Tapping Solution. They've got a great tapping app that can be super helpful here. Tapping can lower cortisol by up to 27%. Like if that was any kind of a drug, everyone would be taking it. So it's an amazing therapeutic thing and free. And so check out that app. Meditation, of course. Shout out to my girlfriend who founded Ziva Meditation, Emily Fletcher. High intensity interval training, very short bouts of it, can help retrain your sympathetic nervous system to handle stress better. And then doing, like mindful restorative yoga can be super helpful. Hot bath, Epsom salts, and a little lavender. So what I say here is find your bliss. I know when I was under extreme stress with my son when he was in the hospital for 4.5 months, at first I just needed to walk. That's all I could handle. And then I started doing some HIIT training because it felt like I needed to blow off steam. And the big thing here is one of the most important things for your adrenals is getting enough sleep, which can be challenging. I take my sleep candy every night. That could be helpful here, along with some of the other great sleep hygiene, cooling your room down, taking a hot bath, wearing blue blocker glasses. So those are all things that you can do too. I take 3 of my sleep candy every night, but I'm 6 feet tall. I'm a big girl. And then I take a couple of my magnesium every night, along with an Epsom salts bath with some lavender in it. And I find that helps a ton. So those can all be helped. CBD can also help at night as well. So that's another thing to try because sleep is super key for healing your adrenals. And you may find that if you really have exhausted yourself, that you need more sleep, more like, on the 9-hour spectrum until you get them healed. So those are all the things that are super important here. I hope that helps, and let me know. And if you've got questions, I will get you the answer either by me or one of my health expert buddies. And all you need to do is DM me on Instagram and shoot me a question at jj.virgin, and I'll get it answered. All right. This is JJ with Ask the Health Expert. I do this 5 times a week, so make sure you never miss a show by going to subscribetojj.com.